Goodbye!
His name's Ampan.
Oh my god!
Oh, that's so good.
I know.
It's already been a week since the New Year started, and I'm sort of like realizing that throughout the past year, I haven't really done much. And in fact, like looking back on it, 2022 was kind of like just this super shitty year. Like I had the worst social anxiety, the worst burnout, and all this other shit that altogether I feel like 2022 was probably the worst year of my life so far. In my few years of living here, like that's how it's felt. If we go back to 2021, like the end of 2021 that is, I sort of realized that like I was starting to burn out really quickly. School was like this, like the beginning of college, I thought it was gonna be amazing and I was gonna have so much fun, like learning all the shit that I wanted to learn. But dude, the program I picked, like the major I picked, the program for it was terrible. I mean, dude, it was so much work constantly that I would like have to spend like endless nights just working on like the same monotonous shit. Like it wasn't even like studying because it was like design pretty much. So it wasn't inherently studying, but it was like constant work, and none of the shit that like I was working on was very rewarding to make at the end of the day. And the only thing that I enjoyed making was just like this one video. And it wasn't until at that point where I actually enjoyed making a video, guess what? That's when like my work felt rewarding and at the same time got a good grade. Because everything else up to that point was like, it was so shit. And it was this combination of this burnout and just not feeling rewarded, because let me tell you, the criticism that I got from that program was not very nice to hear. So to like work so much and not be like not hearing the things I want to hear, it just didn't feel really great to work at all. It got pretty shitty and I got super burnt out super fast. But yeah, going into college and finishing my first semester, it felt not great at all. And I just wanted out super quickly. There's also the fact that I literally go to a different school from all my friends, and I'm nearly alone at this school, I guess you could say. So it's kind of tough because being separated from all my closest friends. And I guess it made me feel a lot more disconnected, and it made me lose touch with them a bit more, and it made it harder for me to approach them like I usually would. I don't know why exactly, but I don't know. I just couldn't get myself to connect with them anymore. I guess because I wasn't exactly seeing them almost every single day like I would before. So there's that. And I sort of thought that 2022 would bring something new and like I could change myself in every way and like change my life. Ooh. But no, it wasn't like that at all. Looking back at my content in 2021, it was okay, you know. I had a lot of like my friends in it, and it was mostly fun just because of that. But in 2022, I sort of had to reinvent myself a little bit, and like you already know that in 2021, I didn't feel all that great from all the shit that I had to do and how just like I wasn't feeling like working at all. So taking out a big portion of what I enjoyed from my content, which I can't blame my friends for that. Obviously, they're going to be busy with their own lives. So yeah, going into 22 and trying to make my content by myself, it took a lot of the fun out of it, and I just couldn't get myself to really work in it. And the few times that I did work with friends on videos, it was sort of like I don't know, something didn't feel right, and I just didn't enjoy what I want to do. Like I literally always want to make videos, but for some reason during this time period at the beginning of 2022, I just didn't ever want to pick up my camera, pick up my computer to edit or anything like that. I would always want to like sit in bed and like watch like a video on my phone or something. Like I didn't want to get up and do shit, and it didn't help that like what I was making wasn't really anything I enjoyed because it didn't include my friends. It didn't include all this, and like I know it's like not their fault. It's not their fault in any way, shape, or form. If I'm gonna be completely honest, I don't want to put any of the blame on my friends. I think, but it's just like a growing pain that I had to get used to. But like, how are you supposed to go through and power through all these growing pains when like you just don't feel good in the first place? You know, it's just like mentally it wasn't. It was very taxing. So you can see that like in a lot of my content in early 2022 it was like so lacking. It just felt, I don't know. It was hard to watch it all the way through, and I don't know. It's the best word I can describe it as is like super cringy. Like I can't ever go back to any of those videos and like watch it all the way through without just feeling awful, because like it's just not up to my standard anymore. But like even like as I posted them, I just never felt proud of it. So again, it just like added on to just like never feeling satisfied with my work, and it was just not a great feeling. So like to transition to making content by myself, it's like not something that I inherently wanted to do, if you get what I'm saying. But I had to do it because I had because my friends are busy, which I can't blame them for. So there's that. So now it's the middle of 2022. I was about to say 2023, and well, you already know I wasn't doing so great. Like, I feel like a lot of the time, I just like couldn't really do anything I wanted, because then like I'd constantly like feel bad that I wasn't working on something. So then it's like sort of like seeped into everything. So like I couldn't go out like with friends because like I'd feel like, oh, like why am I doing this? I could be doing something else. I could be, like making a video or doing homework or studying or doing something else that wasn't, hanging out with friends or doing all that shit. And like the thing is, like, it was a constant goal of mine in 2022. I'm pretty sure like you've heard it so many times in like my other videos. It's like I wanted to make more friends. I wanted to hang out with my friends more often. And I've said it so many times, like, not only to like the camera, of course, but I've said it plenty of times to other people that I know, and they're always saying like, oh yeah, you kind of have to put yourself out there more. But I'm not even like taking the time to even put myself out there in the first place. I'm just kind of sitting in my room and trying to work. And then half the time I don't even really get any work done because I just end up like leaving it and pushing it to the side to go and play games, not even with friends, like just by myself. So even then, I'm not really getting the social aspect out of it. I'm just playing games by myself, which is super fucking sad. So it sort of became this constant cycle of like, I can't go out and hang out with friends and, try and fulfill a little goal that I set for myself in 2022, because I feel guilty that it's going to get in the way of my work and all the other things that I'm trying to do. And I guess like that's my fault because I set too many expectations for myself going into that year. So it just like, it wasn't healthy, and I just like every single day felt like just like constant guilt for me not doing all the things that I wanted to do or that I had expected myself to do. So it was like really unhealthy for me. And it was because of this cycle of guilt that I just couldn't really get anything done or do anything I liked, because I just felt so held back by what I could be doing rather than what I actually want to be doing. But as a result, I didn't really achieve anything throughout the past year. And if anything, I didn't even enjoy a majority of the past year because I forced myself to hold back so much. And at the end of the day, I did it to myself. And that's like not for me to say, like not to ask for anyone to feel bad for me or anything. It's just like I did this to myself, and I fucked myself over in so many ways because of this constant cycle. And I think it was because of this sort of guilt that I had, I couldn't enjoy making all the videos that I wanted to make. Because like you clearly see, like throughout spring and summer, I just either wasn't making content, which is like, not gonna lie, that was just me being really shitty at time management. But that's like besides the point. But like in the content that I did make, you could clearly tell that I wasn't me, especially if, of course, you know me like personally. You could tell that the content that I was making, I wasn't who I usually am, and like I don't know why I fucking talked like an NPC or some shit. I swear, I was just so boring in my content, and I wasn't being myself 90% of the time. And the worst thing about it was that when I did have the free time to, do whatever I wanted, I 90% of the time I would be on my phone, like checking socials and stuff like that. And I would just constantly see people doing so much with themselves. Like they would be at like a bunch of gatherings and just having fun, enjoying their lives. They'd be traveling, some of them would be making their own content and making way better content than I ever could. And it just made me feel worse. Like every time I had a chance to check my phone, I would just like see how much better people are doing compared to me. I know that it's not good to compare yourself to anyone, but at a certain point, it really makes you realize where you're at with your own life. So now here comes the end of 2022, and I'm not feeling accomplished. I didn't really feel all that fulfilled with any of the things I've done, and overall I didn't make any friends that I was hoping to make. But it's at this point that I also realized that I made 2 friends in particular that I actually learned a lot from. Both of them were into film, videography, and just taking videos in general. These 2 were actually more in the professional realm than I was, but besides that, they were just like people that I could geek out about with camera gear and all these ideas that like we've had, and it was kind of refreshing in a way. Making videos can feel very lonely at times, and especially this year, I guess that's one of the biggest like ways I could describe my life within the past year. And so to have friends that kind of understood, making content and making videos and like sort of helping to motivate myself, it felt really refreshing. And it helped me produce 2 pieces of content that I really enjoyed making, that being the school video and also the birthday alone video, both of which had some things that weren't great about them and I could have done better. But overall, like I enjoyed making those videos more than I did like pretty much almost any other video throughout 2022. I think if you're watching this now, you'll probably know who you are, but if you're watching this, then thank you. You helped motivate me a lot towards the tail end of 2022. I keep almost saying 2023. Holy shit. I now realize what I want out of 2023 now more than ever, because I was able to see how much more motivated I was when I was surrounded by the right people at the right times and feeling just better about myself. So because of that tail end portion of 2022, I sort of realized what I wanted to get out of 2023. And the best way I could put it is actually something that my professor said. It went sort of something like,
the point is, this is your chance to explore. Now, you've got to do it within what your degree and your major allows you. But think about this as an investment. Don't think about it as 4 years to just get through. And it is definitely 4 or 5 or 6, whatever, how many years. It's also time to have fun. Absolutely. It's a social experience as much as anything else. But it's an investment in your future. And if you don't take the classes that you can really benefit from, or that really excite your soul, you're going to regret it because you can't get back that time. You can't just take time off and go back to learn things. You can, but it's expensive to do it. I mean, not just in terms of money, but in terms of time and, you know, how it affects your life. So that's the most important investment you can make. And the most important long-term investment you can make is in the people you care about. I mean, everything else kind of doesn't matter without them.
Well, look at yourself.
So
What do you mean?
try not to forget that. Because I've seen a lot of people who do, and none of them are even remotely happy.
So I think my professor put it in the best way in that I need to take the time to like learn the things that I really do want to learn and create things that I want to actually make instead of, you know, trying to fill out some kind of criteria. And above all else, I should be focusing more on surrounding myself with, you know, the people I love and the people that I care most about. Because without them, the best parts of 2022 really wouldn't have been there, and it truly just would have been an absolute like terrible year. So in all honesty, they were really there for me to just make my 2022 at least somewhat bearable and help me power through it. So because of that, I think I know now in 2023, I want to, of course, make content that I actually enjoy making and put actual time, effort, and care into it rather than just, you know, trying to have something out there. And then I also want to learn the things that I actually do want to learn, you know, instead of, again, filling out criteria. So I think that going into 2023, even though we're already a few days into it, I want to make the things I actually want to make and make sure I put time, effort, and care into them rather than, you know, trying to put something out there. I want to actually be willing to express myself and who I am, because without that, what kind of person am I really? And last of all, in 2023, I want to surround myself with my friends, my family, and, you know, make more friends that have all the same interests that I do, because to be fair, I really didn't do that a whole lot in 2022, and I feel like most of my highlights of that year were because of the people I surrounded myself with. So I should be a little bit more considerate of that and more willing to give them more time, because, you know, without them, where would I be? So yeah, here's 2023. Here's 2023. Let's make this a good year, because, you know, 2022 was, it fucking sucked. I'm just gonna leave it at that.
Remember to turn off the oven. I don't get stressed out enough.
Why?
What? Like you said, you were a squirter.
Right now.
You thought I was gonna release a video on time? What?